How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a quick product review and demonstration. What we have today is basically an OBD2 code reader. So this is the ARTILINK 500. This is an entry-level code reader, but it has a lot of really cool features. So I've got the Denali in the shop here today, and I'm going to create a check engine light by unplugging something. And then we're going to hook this up, go over how it works. This has logging features, graph features, the ability to read and clear codes. So let's check this thing out. So getting our first look at the code reader here, really lightweight and a really big screen. So most of the code readers you get at, AutoZone or Advanced Auto Parts, it's a really small LCD screen and it'll just tell you a code number. Another really cool feature about this is working under a dash as an LED light built into the OBD2 connector. So let's get right to it. We'll hook this thing up under the dash and see what it looks like. Alright, so we'll turn our key on. Really nice display here. So something that this also offers, which is a requirement in North Carolina at least, is your readiness codes. So right now, we are going to check the readiness codes on this vehicle. Now, you can see the green check marks by all the things that have to pass. There's CAT, heated CAT, evap, air, O2 sensors, EGR, misfire. All that stuff needs to pass in order for this truck to pass inspection. So this is a quick way to hop on here and see if your vehicle is going to pass inspection. Now what I'm going to do under the hood of the truck is I'm going to disconnect the mass airflow sensor to create a check engine light. Now with this code reader, I should be able to pull the code to tell me what's wrong with the vehicle. And once I fix the issue, which is in this case just plugging it back in, clear the code and make sure that all my readiness monitors are reset. Alright, with the key on, we're going to scroll over to Diagnostics, and we're going to read codes. So we hope you guys can read this. P0113 generic intake air temperature sensor 1 circuit high. So now what we're going to do is click the help button, and it's going to give us a better description of the code, which is really cool. Now, as far as support, this will do any OBD2 vehicle from 96 and newer. So if you're having an issue with your vehicle and you need a better description, this tool is going to tell you what is going on. Now on this truck, our inlet air temp sensor is built into our mass airflow. So this is going to give you a diagnostic start point. Now what we'll do is go back under the hood, reconnect our sensor, erase codes, and make sure that it goes away. And just like that, everything is clear. We'll go back to read codes, and there are no faults found. Now, what may have happened since I cleared an emissions-related code, we'll go back down to our readiness monitors, and you can see that half of them aren't set. So this vehicle is going to need to go through a couple drive cycles before these readiness monitors are reset, and the vehicle will pass inspection. The feature we're going to look at next is called Data Stream, and what this is going to show you is the OBD2 information. So you'll be able to look at things like inlet air temp, what the actual number is, mass airflow, throttle position, engine coolant temperature, and you'll be able to see what the vehicle is doing. But here are just a few of the things that we can look at. And when you're diagnosing a vehicle, this is going to be very helpful. So say you have a check engine light for an O2 sensor, you'll be able to come into this menu and see if your O2 sensor is switching, if it's stuck lean, if it's stuck rich, if it's not switching at all. This is really going to help you diagnose what's wrong with your vehicle. Next, we're going to look at view graphic items. Let's see what we have in here. So what we're looking at now is live data of what our O2 sensor is doing. You can see down at the bottom of the screen, which is kind of hard to zoom in on, we have our short-term fuel trim percentage. So right now we are adding 1.6, and you can see in the graph that our O2 is switching. Let's try something else. Here we're going to try engine RPM. So you can see at the bottom of the screen is our actual RPM. We have a min-max, and then we're graphing this as well to see what it's doing. Something else we can do with this vehicle is look up a code. So let's go to lookup. Let's do a P0301. Generic misfire cylinder 1 detected. Let's try a different one. Let's do a P0700. Transmission control system mill request. So these are just generic things that I'm looking up. Let's try something a little bit more specific. P0706 transmission range selector sensor A circuit range performance. So for example, say your buddy calls you up. You power this up, type in the code that he might be having. Let's try a 342. Camshaft position sensor A circuit low bank 1 or single sensor. So all of this is stored inside of this handheld. Really convenient. Now something else you can do is hook this up to your printer and you can print diagnostic reports. You can print freeze frame data. All this from this little handheld. Let's talk about price on this real quick. You can find these on Amazon, they're $60. But this week, if you go in the description below, there will be a discount code where you guys can pick one of these up for less than $60. Now, I have a little code reader that I keep here in my home shop. It's a little cheapy one, and it was about $100, and it doesn't do near the stuff that this does. I got it from AutoZone. But for $60 to have something like this that you can keep at your house and not have to go pay a $100 diagnostic fee at your local dealership or your local mechanic, this is really convenient. And it allows you to graph stuff so you can actually see if it's working or not. It gives you code descriptions, and it has a bunch of codes stored in here so that you can see what you're working with. I'm going to use this thing a lot. It's really convenient. I'm going to keep it in my toolbox. For $60, this is well worth having. The way that cars are nowadays, if you don't have a diagnostic tool, you cannot figure out what's going on with them with your voltmeter or your wrenches and your screwdrivers anymore. You need something like this. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this quick little review of the ARTILINK 500. Be sure that you check them out on Amazon. You can also check them out at TOPDONdiagnostics.com. I'll put that right up here, and I'll put a link in the description below. Tool, well worth having if you have a newer vehicle, guys. Check it out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.